Hi there, time for the weekly video. I did promise you an update on the competition from last time. So where we're at the moment is we've had a few comments. I think people there have a 1 in 3 chance of winning a prize just now, but we still need more subscribers, so we need at least 10 more. If we get to 100, 200, whatever, that's all the better. But for this competition, I'm starting at 50. We're taking a number of subscribers to 50. So if you can subscribe, that'd be great. If you're in the UK and you can comment as well, you can win the prizes that are there. In fact, let's remind you of what those are. Some 80s Scream Queen action and Luz, the Flower of Evil. So those are there. If you're not in the UK, but you just want to help someone in the UK win those, then do still like the channel and give us all thumbs up when you can. That's very nice. You will be doing your part to help someone else win some goodies. Today is an important day for a lot of people. I have a couple of tangents, unlike me, I know, to discuss. A friend of mine on Facebook recommended this book the other day, The Only Plane in the Sky, the Oral History of 9/11. And I want to mention that because, first of all, it seems like a fantastic recommendation. Second of all, I've been reading about one book every 2 years at the moment, but it doesn't stop me wanting to go out and support great books by buying them. I know they're paid when the books, go to the sellers, but the seller may then have to restock and buy more. So I like that. And obviously with today's date, it's something that resonates with, I would say, a large part of the world for different reasons, tying into the little that we do on Readers of the Podcast. It's a reminder that this is actually a reminder that every story could probably be told an almost infinite number of ways, depending on your own experiences, your own interactions, your own baggage with things. And don't roll your eyes and get fed up of the stuff that will be on TV this weekend, the things that have been written and filmed about the attack on September 11th. This is the 20th year anniversary, so it'll be a lot more than usual. Also though, I don't think it's necessarily healthy to have that on a loop, as some people have suggested, having the news feed as it broke repeated so that others can experience that as it happened. You're never going to have that, for one thing, and then I don't think you necessarily should for other generations. Like, we were just dumbstruck and dumbfounded here in the UK. I remember I was heading into a late shift for the bar I was working, and the news was on when I got there, and people were watching the news, and I thought someone had, as we sneakily sometimes did, stuck a movie on. I was like, oh, what are you watching? And they're like, this has been happening. And it's that's just a small part of that day, and it's a indelible memory from that event on my life. And other people will have varying selections of memories, from the small to obviously the huge, and you pass on stories and you share memories. You don't have to, I think, make other people, from loved ones who are your age to children and grandchildren, you don't have to make them try to relive that day as you experienced it. That's never going to happen. That doesn't mean they will forget it or underestimate the power of it. It just means there should be lots of different ways in which they can find out other pieces of that story, and that can be from you speaking about it directly to books, to films that have been made on the subject, to archival news footage, but maybe in the context of where you were at the time, what was going through your mind, how you tried to contact loved ones. People will deal with today in different ways, and they've been dealing with today in different ways every year, but this maybe feels a little bit more obviously like a landmark time. I'm really not qualified to talk about this or tell people how to process their emotions or memories. All I'm wanting to say is that it's also a reminder of so many positives, whether that's the people who help one another. I think it was the quote from Mr. Rogers, who says, in these times of crisis, look for the people who are running to help, or also the many coping mechanisms we have around us for every horrible situation day to day. That could be finding others who have gone through the same situation or similar to yourself. It could be just seeking comfort in a show you're binging on Netflix. It could be like a really awesome big tub of Ben and Jerry's. I will never say no to a tub of Minter Wonderland. So, I don't think many people are going to watch this video this weekend, but hopefully if you've clicked on it and given me a few minutes of your time, I hope it doesn't feel like a complete waste. And I would never claim to be able to comprehend the level of emotions and craziness that a lot of people went through that day. So, as is my wont, I'll move on to something a lot lighter because I bought 2 books today. That was the first one. The second one, oh yeah, it's another thing that's been on my mind lately though. Sex, funnily enough. And again, it was bizarrely tied in with this idea of like, let kids experience this and see this sort of real world horror as it unfolded. And I know a lot of my American friends, and they don't mind their younger children necessarily seeing the fights and the gunfire and the Rambo stuff and maybe the Terminators and Robocops and all that. And I think that's great. But I have seen comments from people who are like, oh, I just bypass the nudity, or just have to get ready, put the hand over the eyes, kind of thing. I've always found that strange, because surely most of the time it's the easiest material to contextualize, and aside from the embarrassment factor, nudity is still generally quite a natural thing. As parents, we've probably all been caught at some point just coming out of the shower, being caught relatively nude, and your kids point and laugh. Maybe that's just reaction to me being nude, and you make up little words, you have little snippets of conversations here and there. Again, film and TV and books, like the media we consume, the fictions and the non-fiction, can really just help to make that a healthy journey, full of stepping stones, full of things along the way. So I was wondering what the general consensus is on that, what other people's views are. I think there's even value to be had in the more problematic films that we can watch nowadays with modern sensibilities and spot as being, really something alarming, whether it's Revenge of the Nerds or any other sex comedies from the 80s, or if it's maybe 50s and 60s movies that, you know, overtly or subtly have the general sexism running through them. It's a woman facing more problems just because she's a woman, and you know, she's attempting to do a man's job and not look after the homestead. They're all part of the same conversation, I think, ongoing, which can allow people to reframe their thinking, to develop healthier attitudes, and I think is better than just oh, it's okay, all the guns and grenades and bloodshed, you know, this isn't real. Sex in movies generally isn't real, but then you have nudity that is, and you have attitudes that are, and they can be worth discussing and exploring, especially with younger viewers. You know what they will, you know, be able to handle in terms of movie content. When my youngest daughter was she about 9 or 10? At one point I was tempted, we were hoping to go see Gremlins on the big screen. That didn't happen. Watched it at home, and then I realised I was glad we watched at home because it's more intense than maybe you remember at times. And so she had the comfort of, we could take a moment, we could I could point out some of the puppetry, and you know, that was how she got through it. And then she got to enjoy Gremlins and enjoy that film, and we had conversations about it. Every film generally has something that you can discuss, that you can consider. If not, it's completely disposable entertainment that you probably aren't ever going to be watching there in company. It's the trash that I watch on my own, but other stuff is. So these things came together this week, a very odd juxtaposition of 9/11 and the importance of, I think, still processing that and the ways it can be processed, and sex on screen and nudity and attitudes. I think they all keep working together, or they should, and sometimes I think we get to discuss that on Raiders of a Podcast, and sometimes we just try not to make Tyler cry, laugh at Dave being grumpy. Everyone waits for me to rate something as 7 out of 10, and then Craig can come up with the best insults. Doesn't matter. It's all stepping stones on the journey, and I just hope everyone has a lovely weekend. You know, trying to just give out positive vibes more than ever to people for this important date. And again, the pointless stuff is there's no graphics and stuff, but like and subscribe. Competitions on the past video, do that. But take care of yourself. Give yourself lots of love, because there isn't always enough going around. And I'll speak to you soon.